Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Today I'm out here sitting in the backyard here, and it is hot, hot, hot. I did a walk yesterday, and wow, it's hot outside. So, and the scripture we're talking about today is hot also. You're like, it can be convicting. It's like, ouch, I don't want to be reading that. But anyway, we're going through the book of Mark, and I'm not going to skip over a section because it's too controversial or actually too convicting. But this is one here. It's convicting for all of us. I'm going to be reading today from Mark 12, verses 41 through 44. We're going to be finishing up the chapter of 12 today of Mark. So, in fact, it's so hot out here, I'm not wearing my glasses because it's like steaming them up and everything. It says this: Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put in and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins, worth only a few cents. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on." In this passage here, it's talking giving out of what you have, your poverty, of what you have. There's another passage that also talks about making a big show about what you put in, and I'm going to talk about that too today. It's bothersome today in the different things you see. Back when we were kids, you'd have like the Sunday school offering and stuff, and it was always a funny thing to do to bring in a bunch of coins, and they might have been pennies. You'd bring those in, and then you drop them in chink 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 one by one, to make a loud sound, and everyone like, oh, look at all the money he gave. Well, it's only a few pennies and stuff, but you were doing it for show. You did that when you were kids. Sadly, today that still happens. Okay, hopefully you're not doing that. But I like to ride bike, and there's different spots that when I ride bike, they have benches in certain areas, like out at Myakka State Park. And I tell my wife, if you want to come find me sometime and I'm out riding bike, I might be sitting at this bench. And I've told her where that bench is. And it's a great bench. You're riding along in Myakka State Park, and it's close to a turnaround point for me. And there's a bench there that was just placed perfectly. And you sit there in front of the lake, the Myakka Lake, looking out over the water. And you can spend your time reading the Bible there, praying, whatever. And it's not really popular. Not many people are sitting there because it's kind of out of the way. It's not with a bunch of other stuff. And that's just an awesome table. And on the back of it, it says, "This is donated by Friends of Myakka State Park," and it might have a name on there. I don't remember. Then I also go out to Carlton Reserve, and you're biking through there, and all of us, you'll be riding along, and then they got these benches every once in a while. And you're like, why do you have benches out here? But once you're riding bike out there, you stop and you enjoy that bench. You're like, oh, this is great. I love the person who donated this bench and put it in here. And I'm not the only one that does that. There's been other bikers out there. They'll stop, and I've stopped and had conversations with other people out there, riding bikes in just these awesome benches. And the benches will say on them, like, donated by Billy Bob or whatever, And I thought, oh, that's awesome. And you know what? The world, to do their fundraising, they do that. And I kind of expect that, Someone will go, oh yeah, I'll donate money for a bench or a building or whatever if my name can be on it. So it'll be like the Sarasota County Library will be the Todd Stoltzfus Library building. You're like, oh, okay, whatever. And so that name is always attached to it. It's because they donated money to that. And that's fine for the world to do that. I expect the world to do that. That's just a way of raising money, and they're building up the ego of whoever donated the money, and like, oh, look at me, and I donated money to this library or whatever. In fact, there's a building that we've done work at in Lakewood Ranch, and this particular building, it has it's a fancy building. It's not just a standard a block building, a big cube. It's very fancy, and all this stuff. It was a charity that had this building, and all this stuff was donated, and it has all these plaques all over the place. This post was donated by this person and stuff all over. The sad thing about that is this, that you go there to this day, you go there today, that charity went under. It had poor management or whatever, and it went under. So the building is still there, and it's another group using it now. They bought that building. But the plaques are all over that these people donated for, and then it was managed poorly, and they lost the building, bankruptcy or whatever. Anyway, but what I want us to see is this, that stuff is happening in the church now. You'll go into a church building. Hopefully this isn't happening in your church, but you'll go into a church building and it'll say different stuff is donated by this person, and you're like, what? What happened to giving to God just for the glory of giving to God and not having your name plastered all over the place? So it might be benches, but more oftentimes it's building. You might have the Susie Q fellowship hall or whatever, and it's like, why? That's so unbiblical to have that stuff. And the church has adopted those fundraising ways of raising funds, and that the world does, and it's fine for the world to do, but it's not okay for the church to be doing that. Jesus had said, make sure your giving is in secret, and in this passage here, he's talking about that widow who just gave out of everything she had. And you'll be traveling around. I'll be traveling around. I'll be in Africa, in Haiti, and so forth. The poorest of the poor people are there, and they're giving all they have. They got $10 for the week, and they give $9 in the offering or something like that. And then you got people over here in the United States, and they made $10,000 for the week, and they go, oh yeah, let me put $10 in the offering or something. It's off balance and off kilter. So I would encourage you today, when you give, keep it secret. It's between you and God. That's the big thing, and don't do it out of having your name given out or the plaque put up or anything like that, because your glory comes right then. When you get to heaven, Jesus isn't going to go, oh, thanks for donating to the Todd Stoltzfus Memorial Library. Nope, your glory was back there when you had that plaque put on. And you know what? The library is going to burn down, blow away, just like that building in Lakewood Ranch. It went bankrupt. So anyway, give in secret, but give like you love the Lord. Okay? So that's my word for today. Thank you for watching, and I'm just a regular dude walking the Word. Tomorrow we're going to jump into chapter 13 of Mark. All right, we'll see you then. Blessings.